Here he is.
Oh, there we go. We're about to start the podcast without you.
That's right.
They can probably hear you. I think they can hear you.
Okay.
They can hear me.
Can they hear us?
Manly.
Hey, chat, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had it open.
Okay. I'm rolling in fresh from dropping off a kid at school, so let me make sure I'm all sorted.
Might have to do 3:30 or 3:15 going.
Yeah, but then I got to pick her up from school, and that might mean we that'd be worse. That might be worse. I think we might need to do it during the day. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
What if you do that in the morning, 7 a.m.? Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
How long is school?
She's in preschool, so not very long.
Man, in my awful memories, preschool was like a big long thing I went to, but apparently you just go there for like a few hours.
Yeah,
like 2
you just go there for a few hours.
Maybe Mike. Maybe watch just you.
Yeah. It's glorified daycare.
Yes,
basically.
basically.
People about shapes.
2 different preschools. I went from one right to the other during the day.
Yeah, you might have gone from daycare to preschool. Yeah, that might have been the thing.
Nah, that's all. Well, maybe.
All right,
yeah, you might be right.
Mods, get the hell out. I need to see Mike's camera. Mike, give me your camera feed.
No.
Oh wow, wow. Never mind. I'm just focused on Nick. All right, Nick, get out. There we go. All right. Okay. Hello, chat. We're gonna get started here in a second. Let me close some of these other things.
Make sure no one else gave me any answers to the questions. Oh, I do have a few more questions. Okay, let me throw those in the thing. You can all start thinking about your favorite Wii U games. I know you have a lot to choose from.
Mike, what's my favorite Wii U game?
I don't know, Jeff. You had a whole week to think about it, so I refuse to help you. Actually.
All right. Let's all hope the kid's gonna be happy over there watching.
It's just clearly
Epic.
Mario Maker. So, anyways.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Isn't it not? Was it not Mario Maker?
Thank you, Mike. Nope.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I still the answer was so obvious that they got mad and had to say it.
Okay. I lost 50 frames. That's not a lot. That's not too bad. I think we're okay though.
Did you start your router since you're streaming?
Listen, I've been a busy man. I've been busy.
God damn it. You sure you just don't want to do that now, considering how you've had to do it the last 3 times we've recorded?
I think it's okay. Let's think happy thoughts.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm skeptical. I'll just throw it. I'm
bringing up viewer activity. So now, you know what's stupid is if I don't bring up viewer activity right away, the super chats that got sent in before that they just won't be there because YouTube is a very good platform.
Don't go to viewer. That's not where I read the super chats from.
Yeah, but I'm on YouTube. You're right. I should definitely go to
Stream Elements.
Stream Elements is better. It's just another tab, and then
Wow. It's the one tab you have to worry about, really.
Yeah, you're right. It's better. Okay. I'm getting logged in.
You can click them when you read them, and it has a different icon, so you know you read it. It's nice.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's why I keep track of it.
All right, so I'm logging in there.
It goes from being I forget. It's either goes from being a line to a dot or the other way around. And it's very helpful.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
don't get the tweet that we're doing this.
Right. Let me do that right now.
Mister, I have a lot of YouTube followers who were hoping I'm going to say something about Elden Ring, but instead they're going to hear me talk about my butt or something.
Hey, so what's going on with Elden Ring?
Nothing. Did something happen this week? What?
Oh, I don't know. Because someone was joking around that there was news about Elden Ring, and I was wondering if there was really new Elden Ring news.
Nah, there wasn't. Okay. I'm fairly certain there is no Elden Ring news. We are safe. We are safe. You're mixing up Elden Ring with Afghanistan again.
God damn it. Oh, shit. Mike, gotta say, having real existential dread about going into 7-Eleven and seeing newspaper headlines about Taliban taking over stuff and be like, oh man, this has been my entire life. My entire adult life has just been news about this war.
Been about the Taliban, yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Man. That's why I got just worry about Elden Ring again.
Yes, you're right. All right, YouTube.
They announced the Rocketeer board game, baby. Mikey excited.
Well, that's good.
Oh, look, it's AJ. Let me tell my other brother I'm doing this in case he wants to watch.
Okay, where are we at?
I just got some new Indian fast casual dining establishment opened in town. It's very nice.
Okie dokie.
Smoky.
Lemon smoky. That's not what it is. All right, now I have
What the
stream
hell is
elements.
lemon smoky?
You know what, Mike? It's like 95 degrees here, and it's been 2 months straight of air quality index warnings.
Okay.
I think I'm losing brain cells just living here.
Well, I agree with that. Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Don Flamenco is Italian.
listen, Don Flamenco.
No,
it sounds,
we're getting into that later. We're getting
Okay.
into that later.
Yeah, fair enough. I have the rundown here, so you could start. I have to bring up the music. That's the thing that's like in my head that I needed to check.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now!
You probably couldn't hear that because
I heard it very softly for some reason.
Yeah, because I'm on. Sometimes when I do other people's podcasts, I switch my Discord input to NVIDIA Broadcast so they don't hear the background noises. Okay, now if I do it,
Hey, you guys hear me?
you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it, baby.
Okay. All right, Mike. I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
Mikey, ready?
Okay, I'm gonna do a countdown. And you know what? Let's bring up the cameras. Hello,
That'd be good.
hello, everybody. I'll do a countdown. I'll hit the record button. I'll start the thing, and then we do it. Oh, right. That's not the right rundown. Where's Nintendogs? Oh, it's over here.
Like my new shirt? What's it say?
Oh, that's cool. I'm wearing
Yeah.
I'm wearing an Advanced Wars shirt. Advanced Wars. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
keep
shirt,
buying.
man. I almost
Wars
got that
up.
shirt. That looks
seen it?
fantastic. It looks really good. Yeah.
It's good. It's got 1986, which is out the year. Oh, nice. I'm trying, man. Who's got the better waifus, Advance Wars or Metal Slug? I don't know. There's something I didn't realize that apparently like girls in like army officer and army fatigues was my
that
thing.
was your thing. Yeah.
Apparently I should have joined the military for the babes.
For the babes, right? Yeah. Oh man, that's good. Okay, let me bring it down a little bit. I think our audio is good. Mine's a little bit hard to dial in right now.
Make that a poll
Test.
once we get going here. Who has which series is the better wife is?
Cool. Yes.
Metal Slug Advance Wars.
Remind me always to read like the results of the polls because sometimes I forget.
Oh, I got that. I got your.
Okay. Cool. Mike, I am gonna do the countdown and we'll get started. Ready?
All right. Yep.
5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. I'm Mike Minotti and I'm a Nintendog.
I'm Jeff Grubb and I am a Nintendog.
And this is last of the Nintendo. Was there that much of a delay, or did you just completely brain fart?
No, it must have been that much of a delay.
Delay, isn't there?
Okay, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a delay. What's wrong? It's like this is 55 seconds or 55 milliseconds. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Okay, I'm talking now.
What? There's that much of a delay? That's insane. That's not what Discord says.
Okay. All right, try again. I'll start talking as soon as you stop talking.
All right, 3, 2, 1, stop.
1, 2, 3, stop.
That's not that bad.
There was a real big pause between me saying I'm Mike Minotti and I'm a Nintendog and you saying it is all I'm saying.
All right, let's start over.
Let's take it from the top.
Take it from the top. Mike, I don't know. I will try. I thought I did it right afterwards.
It was okay. I think I was looking at the video. We were just dropping frames like crazy during the intro. And it's fine now.
Oh, okay. It's okay. We've only lost 150 frames total, so it must have just happened right that second.
I mean, chat can tell me if I'm crazy because that's a possibility.
Don't look at the video. Don't look at the video. How about that?
All right. Well, I just listen. All right. Okay. I was listening to the audio. Is what
I know you. Yeah. Okay. I just hate you, and I hate doing this with you. So that's what it is, really.
I just want to torture you. And
yeah.
All right,
Clearly.
Let's go. One more time.
5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. I'm Mike Minotti, and I'm a Nintendog.
I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. This week we are talking about our favorite Wii U games, of which there are many, and they definitely all have been ported to another system, so it's going to be fantastic. Aside from that, me and Smash Brothers director Masahiro Sakurai have something in common. I bet you can't wait to find out what.
I cannot.
And, yeah, we're getting ready for that Pokemon Presents tomorrow. All these things keep happening the day after we record. I think last week it was like the Indie Direct was happening. It'd be better if they happened like the day before we recorded or the day we recorded. That's okay. We'll talk a little bit about last week's Direct too, but that's pretty old news for a lot of people. But Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I think the Friday show always made a lot of sense because that's like we usually are going to catch most things. Tuesday shows are a bit more precarious because we put them out there and there's always a chance news is going to happen either later that day or the next day. Wednesday's a popular day to drop news. So
it is. Yeah. It is. But this is also a nice day for us to do this because it's like kind of right in between doing Games Beat the Sides. So it works out well.
Yeah, it works out well, and you know we have a lot of topics we can always bring to it and stuff, and we can bring our Nintendo shirts. I see you're wearing your Explore Zebus.
I was wondering. I actually don't know. Is it Zebes or Zebus? I'm not sure.
I would say Zebus.
It could go so many ways. I think Zebus.
Yeah, and I got my Advanced Wars shirt, which says, join Orange Star, which reminds me, I'm going to run a poll now in the chat live on YouTube. And if you're not watching live, we always record these live on youtube.com/JeffreyGrubb/live. Go ahead and subscribe there, and you'll get, if you ring the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live. I'm going to put a poll in there right now. Which series has the better waifus?
Yes, the better military mommies.
Okay, which series has better military mommies? And then the options are going to be Advance Wars and then Metal Slug.
See, our mod Christian didn't want us to talk about waifu, so we're talking about military mommies instead.
Right.
That'll make
you completely
him happy.
dodged it. He's going to be very happy with that. We're very thoughtful.
Metal Slug.
Considerate.
I don't know, man. Metal Slug was looking pretty good there in that trailer. Which is a nice little segue to that Indie Direct last week. Jeff, did you watch it? Yeah, I know you've been off. I think you just like read recaps and stuff, right?
I kind of like what is it called? Scrub. I scrubbed through it after it was live because I was
scrubbed it.
Yeah, I scrubbed it. I was busy like when it was happening, and then I went back and I watched most of it. I watched most of the trailers for sure. It seemed pretty solid. It seemed like a pretty good one. What was your big takeaway from it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I mean, look, I was obviously very hopeful about Silk Song. And like once again, it was like the time for the one more thing. They even made it sound like it might be Silk Song, and then it wasn't. And I was completely kind of it certainly hurt that last game because Eastward or whatever it was. I kind of stopped paying attention to that and started wondering about Silk Song and what's happening with it instead now. But it was a very good Indie Direct. Maybe I'll finally play Loop Hero now. Tetris Effect Connected, that could be really cool on the Switch if it kind of just runs well enough, and it's going to be a good OLED showpiece.
Right.
Metal Slug Tactics. I'm a little disappointed. Metal Slug Tactics is a 2022 game. I was hoping maybe that would sneak in this holiday.
It feels like the kind of thing that if it came out like this summer, this fall, it would do really well. I don't know. I am aching for it a little bit. Like it's the kind of game where every time I see more of it, I really, really just want to play it immediately. Yeah. Which I mean, speaking of that, there were a lot of shadow drops during this thing. That just wasn't one of them. Was Axiom Verge 2? What were the other ones?
Axiom Verge 2 was, and like. We knew and we should have known better because they gave us review code like 2 weeks ago, and honestly, I didn't realize the game didn't have a release date when they gave us the review code.
He in the email he said the way he talked about it, I think I even thought, I should go look and see if this is going to be a Nintendo Direct, and then I never did anything with that thought. So, yeah, That's where I was at.
Right, it's like here's the embargo. It's like, oh, this is when a Nintendo Direct is. At that point, I think I was like. Oh, okay. This is coming out right after that. Well, I'm surprised it didn't get out because they gave like codes to each of us individually on staff. I had freelancers coming to me saying, "I have a code. Do you need a review for this?" Like, nah, we all got a code. So like they were throwing those codes out like crazy, and they still kind of kept that one under wraps. So good for them, I guess. There's that Jet Set Radio like inspired successor, which in terms of like these spiritual successors is like as spiritual successory as like this could just be Jet Set Radio 3. Like no one would bat an eye. So I think it's going to come down
to the music, right? As long as the music is right in that wheelhouse, it'll fully feel like a sequel to that. I mean, it's what you want. I mean, we say spiritual successors all the time, but really what we want are games that are just that thing again, because the primary company's not going to make one of those. Like, I'm glad we didn't get a spiritual successor to Streets of Rage. I'm glad we got Streets of Rage 4. The closer the better.
Yeah, I agree. There's a certain point, like Bloodstained is about as close as you can get to. Like, those are good, both of those. Like, yeah, that's basically just a Metroidvania, Castlevania, and like an old school 2D Castlevania. So those work out. The game's called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Not in love with that name. Doesn't make much sense to me. What do bombs have to do with anything?
Yeah, but what is a Jet Set Radio? I guess there's something there. That's evocative, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, like that worked for me. I'll tell you what, that's one of the few times where like I got over not calling it the original US name because it was Jet Grind Radio at first.
Right.
I remember when Jet Set Radio feature was coming out. At first, I was mad that it wasn't Jet Grind Radio anymore. Now I'm like, nah, Jet Set Radio sounds better. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, though, is just kind of a.
Hey, Asante in chat says he likes the name.
Contradicting us. He loves the name.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's fine. That's fine to have bad opinions. It's okay. No, I mean, I'll say this. I can't remember it for the life of me. I'm going to forget it again right after this. It's just a jumble of words.
Yeah.
Like, so they're cool words individually. They don't really come together to say much of anything. But yeah, I thought that was a very good indie direct. It's so confusing that we're not getting more of like these Nintendo indie collabs. But oh well.
Yeah, I think at this point, going back to Silk Song, that's gonna be in a primary like real big direct, isn't it? That's gonna be it's moved up to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's like that, and if we have like get some Deltarune news, those are like the two, right?
If we got like Hades, like more Hades DLC or something, that would be in a real direct as well. So, while yes, definitely an indie, definitely something that could fit technically into an indie showcase. Those games are so big and make Nintendo a lot of money, and so they would probably be like, let's just give them a real direct placement at this point. So we're still expecting a direct before the end of this year, probably in September. But we'll have to see. But if that comes and we don't hear about Silk Song, then what do? We just think it's like late 2022 at that point or something?
I guess so. Sports Story is another no-show. That one hasn't quite graduated to like that has to be on a main direct. So that one's just like next indie direct. I guess we're gonna have to hope for Sports Story again.
Right. Yeah, I think Golf Story sold really well, so maybe Nintendo would put it into a primary direct, but I don't think it has to be in one of those. It could still be.
I guess it depends on timing, really.
Yeah,
it's just
timing,
like,
right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Now tomorrow we have the presents. So that's the Pokemon Direct, 28 minutes long, which is I guess like long for these, like maybe the longest one they've done. It's going to have news on Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. I imagine it's got to be a lot of time for Arceus because I don't know how much you can say about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah, for real.
Like we know that they're pretty. I don't want to. What's a nice? I don't want to say lazy because that has a negative connotation. I don't mean, but simple. They're relatively simple remakes of Diamond and Pearl. So I'm not sure what else you can really say about those. I'm sure there will be some kind of like cross connection with Sword and Shield or something that they'll talk about. Sure. Arceus is the one that has a lot of question marks. That's a game that's supposed to come out in like 6 months or something. It's a game that we thought was going to be running on improved Switch hardware. It won't be. And we still don't really know what it is, aside from this kind of deliberate tease that it's going to be like Breath of the Wild in some ways. So that one's interesting. Do you think we're going to get any news beyond those two?
I mean, yeah. Did we hear about Pokemon Sleep or whatever? Like, there was other stuff they talked.
Sleep not come out.
It never came out. I don't think they've ever talked about it again, like in any way. They just mentioned it the first time they announced it, and we've never heard anything else about it.
So very strong Wii sensor.
Yes.
Like what's that thing called?
The vitality sensor.
The vitality sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong Wii vitality sensor vibes.
Yeah.
For Pokemon Sleep. Except it's just that's weird because you figured like you wouldn't even talk about that till it's just ready to come out. It's just a sleep app. Just release it. So I don't know. Maybe somebody only found out about it when that presents happened, and they're like, "What? This is stupid. You're not releasing that." I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I want to like try it because like weird stuff like that is interesting to me, but also I'm not going to be surprised if it never actually turns into anything. It does seem like the kind of thing where, like, I don't know, let's diversify somewhere into health, sleep. I don't know. It's just, I mean, Pokemon branded sleep. That's what we want to do. It's It is the kind of thing that just seems like an idea that if they gave up on it, it's like it has a long lineage of ideas that have been given up on. So I don't know. I mean, I think if we hear about anything else at this thing, like, do they talk about any movies or anything? Do they talk about any other TV shows that might be coming? I'm not sure, but I mean, they'll probably spend a lot of time on Arceus. They need to.
I think so.
They need to prove it to us that game is going to run well and be. I mean, I guess do they need to prove it? It's Pokemon; it'll sell. But I think if they want to prove it to us, now's the time to do it. So I would imagine we'll see a lot of Arceus.
I mean,
and by the way, your brother says in chat Arceus.
I saw that. And I had no idea. I will defer to him because he has 2 children who like Pokemon, so that he probably knows way more about how to pronounce these names than I do anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Arceus. They'll probably talk about like more Pokemon coming to unite and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that thing seems to be doing pretty well. So you're right. They'll probably have like character reveal trailers and stuff, and they'll start doing that on a regular cadence beginning now. So yeah, good point. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I would love to see a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. I hope they deliver on that promise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I wish I was playing it on a Switch Pro though. So that's kind of how I feel about this thing right now.
Let's see if they've optimized it. Let's see how good the trailer looks now.
Yeah. I mean, they're Pokemon has always been.
All right, so that's that.
We just lost all the frames there. It's back. It's like bouncing back and forth. Okay, I think we'll be okay. I was just gonna say, like, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, like, as much as like you think they've honed what those games are down to a science, they're also like the company that released a Pokemon game on 3DS that didn't support 3D because it was just too much work. They're like, that's just too much work. This game already runs pretty choppy. Let's just ship it like this without 3D because that's going to make it run even worse. And instead of optimizing it, we're just going to release it. So if any company thinks they could get away with this, I think it might be the Pokemon Company. So I don't know. I'm really interested to see what Arceus looks like.
I mean, there's some criticisms that Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, or whichever order that is, about, like, they do look pretty simple, and it's like, hey, these are on Switch now. We thought that, like, this would, when they do the remakes, it looks as good as the last proper Pokemon game. So, like, you would expect these to look like Sword and Shield do now, at least, which aren't amazing looking games, but there's something there,
right?
And instead, it's like, we're cheapifying it just so that it's even more easy to make it still be a grid based, like, top down old school Pokemon thing. So. I don't know. I do think that at some point we're going to want to see like a high production value Pokemon game, and maybe Arceus is going to be that. I don't know.
Yep. I'm curious. I want to see it, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So this thing's, you said it's like 20, how many minutes? It's like 28 minutes or
28 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll be a lot of Arceus, a few updates here and there, maybe Pokemon Sleep, maybe up to that Pokemon toothbrushing game, and then
See, RCS sounds like an acronym, like RCS.
RCS, the first name in home electronics.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yep,
but okay,
fair enough. That's
the god of Pokemon also, apparently. We had some NPD numbers come out on Friday. We talked about that a little bit on Case We Decides, but it was basically really good news for Switch. It's best-selling console now for 32 consecutive months. Skyward Sword is the best-selling game of the month. And Monster Hunter Stories 2 did really well. It's already sold 3 times as much as the lifetime sales of the previous Monster Hunter Stories game. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, so that did very well. So I imagine we're probably going to get a Monster Hunter Stories 3 at some point now.
Yeah, to me this is like all signifies that the Switch effect is still like in effect. And that being like people who own a Switch are buying a lot of games, even like relative to other successful Nintendo consoles before. So the Wii sold a lot, but people didn't buy a lot of games. So there were a lot of games that kind of came along and just kind of fizzled out, and like Skyward Sword being one of them. But like Skyward Sword came out that month and did pretty well, right? Like it was best-selling video game. I think it's like getting close to its Wii numbers, if not already there. So when Metroid Dread comes out, I think it's going to be the best-selling Metroid. That seems to be the thing we can look forward to. And of course, we're losing frames again.
Yes.
It's like the frames just drop out for like 100 frames at a time here and there. I'm like hesitant. Like we could just stop this and try to reset it, but I feel like we can just plow through. So we'll just keep going. What else, Mike? What other news from the NPDs?
Well, those are some of the Nintendo highlights there. But I did want to ask you, Do you think Capcom's going to look at the Monster Hunter Stories 2 sales and remember that they have Breath of Fire and think maybe we can bring that back as a Switch release because RPGs are selling well in that system? Or you think they're just going to be like, wow, we should invest even more in the Monster Hunter series?
Yeah, I feel like they need to start looking around and thinking about ways to bring up some of these other franchises and other series, and I think that Breath of the Wild and stuff like that could work. I mean, Breath of Fire, you're right. Yes. But like Dragon's Dogma seems like the next thing that they need to bring back first. Get Dragon's Dogma kind of a glow up, give it a chance to succeed on Switch along with everything else, and then from there kind of maybe start looking at some of these catalog games and try to do the same thing there. At the same time, though, if they primarily are just releasing Monster Hunter games and different variations on Monster Hunter games, they're probably going to succeed for quite some time because that franchise is just so globally huge. Like, it's just so big that it makes a lot of sense to put a lot of investment in that over other things.
Mm-hmm. So not NPDs, but some other sales numbers here in Japan, which releases its sales numbers every week, which sounds like so much work, but yeah, they can do them.
Yep.
So the Switch on the software charts held all 30 positions for the best-selling games for the first week of August. This is the first time this has happened since 1988, back in just like the absolute dominance of the NES/Famicom.
Jeez.
So that's so not a single PlayStation or Xbox game, like Xbox game, of course. Not a like even like Ratchet and Clank couldn't even get on there. Isn't it? Like I know that it's always been like that, like for the most part, unless it's like Undertale or Minecraft. Like Japan just doesn't care about our Western games. But like, are the games that they play really so different that they all look at Ratchet and Clank ripped apart and are repulsed by it? It's like, how could they not want to play that game?
I don't know. I think they just it's just a different culture in terms of how they play games, and so they want to play it on the go, and the Switch provides that, and Ratchet and Clank's just not on the go. Like, that's what it comes down to. Like mobile is way more successful in Japan than all this console stuff. So like all that stuff is like dominating. But like, when it comes to the the lowly consoles in Japan, Switch is definitely like just out so far ahead. So far ahead.
Right. And this has been happening. It's really cements that like the home console market is so rough right now. And this is why Sony has been doing things like shutting down most of its Japanese studios, because it makes way more sense for them to invest in Western studios and games that sell well in the West, because that is where like the vast majority of their market is now. Like Japan always seemed like it should be the smallest market, but it was punching above its weight because they were so enthusiastic about these games, and it's like the home country for these people. But now that they aren't, they want to play mobile and Switch stuff. So it's like, why, if you're PlayStation, why have 15 Japanese studios anymore?
Yeah, right. And why not focus on the territories where you have been dominant in the way that like Nintendo is dominating in Japan? So yes, more focus on Europe, more focus on North America and South America. So and then if you want to like try to find a place to grow, China's right there. Find a way to succeed in China, and that'll probably be worth way more of your effort than trying to come back in Japan. Like it doesn't make sense. Japan is solidified in the way they're going to play games. China has a lot more chance of like maybe adopting consoles, and if you can get in front of that, even if you can get like a small slice of that market, it's such a huge market that's probably what they're thinking about instead of Japan. So but that's still like all 30 slots for Switch games is just bizarre. That's just so crazy. Yeah,
that's pretty nuts. Yeah, and again, not like a single PlayStation title on there. All right, Jess, Spelunky and Spelunky 2 are both coming to the Switch on August 26th. Now, you're mad at me constantly for not liking SteamWorld Dig 2. Are you going to be upset that I don't like the Spelunky games either?
No, that's fine. Spelunky is like a very acquired taste sort of thing.
It is.
I think if you just like, I think I remember reviewing Spelunky, and I think I did give it like a 60 out of 100 or something like that.
Oh, no.
And there were people who were pretty upset. It was like, it's the in crowd that was upset, so it wasn't nearly as like like it wasn't as bad of a situation as when like the public is like mad at you or something.
Yeah, it's like you gave a Sonic game that score.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I over time I've grown to like appreciate what Spelunky is. It just it is so idiosyncratic in the way that the character controls and moves and attacks. That's like, I know it's all done for reasons, and I know it's all done so because you're supposed to learn the way the character moves, and you're supposed to like feel like you're out of control when you're running fast. But I'm just like, well, there are other there are other roguelites that don't have these issues or don't have these quirks and still feel great and still really work in the roguelike formula, like Dead Cells. So why wouldn't I just go play one that I prefer? And if you're Spelunky's your thing, that's fine.
Thing.
Yeah, it's a taste.
It's not
thing.
my thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, again, a lot of people like these games are getting mad. We had a lot of people mad at us for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I had some shade. You were mad that the studio is even working on that franchise, and people were furious at you.
I know, mad is
which
like,
I kind of wanted to encourage because I like the idea of people yelling at you.
I know, but I'm like not mad that they're working on it. No, some people were
mad.
Yeah, some people were like upset with me for sure. But I was just like, I'd prefer if they worked on something else. And then they got all in their feelings and stuff. Whatever, that's fine. If you are really happy,
that's really ignorant of you. Actually, did you consider the feelings of people who don't think like your stupid brain thinks?
Fuck no, of course I didn't.
I was like. People are like, that's really insensitive of you to have that opinion that doesn't impact anything.
Yeah, that doesn't like. I'm like,
look, I would have canceled freaking that sci-fi game Bethesda's making.
Yes,
I forgot the name of
Starbound. Why can't I remember the name?
That would not have
Starfield.
been a good idea.
Yes. Yeah, clearly, like it's not even
Starfield,
like we've seen like
it would never have mattered.
We've seen some art from it, and it's already like the biggest game in the world. So yeah, then not a great call, Mike. But yeah, I feel like I can admit that it's not a great call for me. I just don't. I don't care. It's just not for me, and I think that's how I said it last week. But whatever, it's coming. It's coming. Whatever. And Spelunky, so Spelunky 1 and 2 are coming to this. The news is it's coming. It's coming like next week, right?
1 and 2 are coming to Switch. That's the news.
I will play them. I will play them on Switch again. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, okay, 26. And now Discord is giving us a really long thing again. So okay. All right, Mike.
Yeah, it's getting rough.
Yeah, it's getting rough. Do you want to like get through the rest of the news and then we'll take a break and I'll reset stuff?
Yeah, I have to pee anyways.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's finish the news.
Well, hang on there. We got this. All right, Jeff. I know you want to go to Nintendo World, but you better watch your head because Goombas are falling from the sky. So there's like if you ever seen the Nintendo Land, there's like that big kind of Mario Mountain where the Yoshi ride goes through. And they have like a lot of like animatronic Mario enemies, and one of them is like a stack of Goombas, like in Mario Odyssey. One of those stacks kind of fell down a couple of like layers of the thing,
and they're really heavy.
Yeah, it fell next to the Yoshi Ride track. No one was hurt. It didn't like land on the track. But still, not a great look for a park that's like not even a year old yet, right? Like what's the state of everything else then?
Yeah,
that is heavy. It can fall on people.
Right? Did you just forget to glue it down? Like what's happening here? That ride is not like a fast ride
of people like.
It's like a really slow ride. It's like the kind of ride where it's like you just like you're slowly going through like scenes of like this Yoshi world, but to like then have these Goombas like drop down from the sky like would be kind of horrifying if it was like just next to you. That would be pretty spooky. But I hope they fix this stuff up because I want to go to this thing and I don't want to die, especially not by Goombas.
Right, of all things. It's also messed up because everybody knows that Goombas don't fall off of cliffs. They just walk back the other way.
Exactly. So this is destroying my reality. Absolutely.
Yeah, it goes against canon.
Yeah.
All right, my last thing here, Jeff. Smash Brothers director Masahiro Sakurai loves Coca-Cola Zero.
Okay.
Came out in this interview, loves it. He said this: if I drink mineral water or tap water, I feel sick. Just half a glass of water will make me feel sick.
Oh my God.
Odd. I don't know. It just doesn't go well with my body, so I often drink Coca-Cola Zero. Okay. That actually sounds like a problem.
That actually sounds like a health issue.
I think you need to drink more water until it stops making you sick. Actually, that's like a bit much.
Right, it's like pins and needles. That's just your body coming back to life, Masahiro. That's just your body being like, oh, thank God. I like give us a sec. Yeah, give us a second to get started. And they're like, oh, what is this feeling in my body? I don't like this. Yeah, Jesus.
Man, I wonder if he knows about them changing it. I wonder how upset he's gonna be.
God, I wish we like regularly interviewed him so you could like have that conversation with them. And then just to hear you guys both getting very upset about it would be very good.
I'm trying to think if I ever interviewed him. I feel like I must have at some point, but I don't think I did. I don't think I've talked to Sakurai. Nah, I must have at some point.
Wow, humble brag. I can't even remember all the people I've interviewed.
I remember interviewing Nakamura about Kingdom Hearts, and I'm glad it was me and not you. But yeah, I don't remember if I talked to Sakurai. All right. that's the news. We're gonna take a short break here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Jeff's going to wave a magic wand and fix a router or something. So hold on tight. We will be right back.
All right, let me go make sure my kid's show is still going, and then we can get started again. Okay, I think we are good. I think we should be live again. Let me refresh and see if...
Yeah, I think we're there. I see it on YouTube. Mike can stay on. Wow.
Hey.
Got in here. We're still recording. Get out of here.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was asking if you want me to change the server on the thingy. Again.
Yeah, change the server on the thingy.
Oh, never mind. He's here to help. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I'm here to help. Also, breaking news: there's a Fortnite skin that leaked, and it's Will Smith. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, I changed it.
What? It's Will Smith?
Yeah.
Not as a character? If it's Will Smith from Wild Wild West, then I'd allow it.
I don't know. It just says Will Smith on the leak, and he looks like Will Smith with guns. So I don't know.
Huh.
Okay.
All right. So now we're just straight up.
Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, I see it now. Now we're just straight up putting the celebrities right out without any context. It's just you can play as Will Smith in Fortnite now. Great. It's just like when we played as Bill Clinton in NBA Jam.
It's just like that. Yeah.
Without the irony.
All right, Mike. We could just pick up from there. You ready to get back into it?
No. 1 second.
Yep.
Everyone. People telling me I need to change my profile pic because I have hair in it. You can shut up, and we can get going. Yeah, rude. All right, I'm ready. If you're ready.
All right, I am good. Let's do this.
And we are back. Jeff, I have some listener questions here from our patrons and our Discord users. One from Twitter, so I'm very proud of myself for remembering it and including it here. If you're in our YouTube chat right now, you want to ask us a question. Just send us a super chat and we will read it on the air. Why don't we end this poll right now, though? Actually,
yes, I'll do it right now. And it'll take a second for it to tally. I don't know what takes so long. There's like a 10-second delay when you hit it before it gives us the actual thing there. So I'm just vamping. I'm killing time.
I'll get to the first question then from Reese Elliott from Twitter. So later on, we're talking about favorite Wii U games. This is kind of a Wii U question. Also, if you want to tell us your favorite Wii U game, we will get to that soon. So you can do that in a super chat and we'll include it in that discussion. But Reese asks, to me, the Wii U first party lineup is better than the Wii's. What do you guys reckon? Galaxy aside, the Wii's lineup is straight up worse in my opinion. Zelda, Donkey Kong, and Smash are all better on Wii U. Also, Splatoon, new IP, and Pikmin 3. I think that might be right, actually.
Yeah, I think it's right.
The Galaxy games are very good.
Of course.
And there's always this problem now of, all these Wii U games are just on Switch.
Sure, but if you're just considering this question,
yeah,
I think it's pretty. I think it's Wii U gets it. Like, yeah, new IP like Splatoon was like very good. Super Mario Maker, very good. Like, there's a lot. Like, it almost used the tablet better than the Wii used the motion controls. So yeah, I think I'd give it to the Wii U. I think so.
I don't know. I don't agree with. I don't agree.
Well,
with
I guess
there.
I'm just thinking like Super Mario Maker primarily is what I'm thinking. But I like using the Wii U's tablet fit into my life better than the motion controls did. So that's what I'm thinking.
There were a lot like Donkey Kong Country, like Tropical Freeze. People love that game. I get it. Like the tablet was just black. the entire
okay, fair enough.
There was
You're
a
right.
lot of games like that towards the end, and even the games that did try to like really use the tablet a lot, like Star Fox Zero, like that was kind of just an experiment that didn't work for most people. Hey, do you want to know which war themed video game series has better military mommies?
I do. Let's hear the results.
Metal Slug wins with 54%. Advanced Wars has only 45%. 105 people voted. I voted for Metal Slug, so I won, so I'm happy.
I could not vote, so I had to stay neutral. But
who would you vote for, Jeff? The loser, probably, right?
I think if we're talking about military mommies, I think I might give it to Metal Slug.
Okay.
You know, Advanced Wars is pretty good, but like it's you know, it's not as consistent. Like there's always good military mommies in Metal Slug. Sometimes like there's just sad military mommies in Advanced Wars, and that stuff didn't work as well.
Fair enough. Yeah, we want our military mommies to be bright and cheery.
Yeah, perky. Yeah, exactly. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Don't use that word perky.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nick Turbos has a question for the Nintendogs. That's us. Why are there a few streaming apps like Netflix on the Switch? That's an interesting question because I remember the Wii. Tons of people's parents use the Wii for streaming. Like, wasn't Netflix?
I mean, not even parents. The Netflix streaming. The first thing I used it on was this Wii. I got a Netflix disc from Netflix, and you put it in there. Like, not even. I'm not talking like, oh, I rented a DVD. I mean, like there was a Netflix branded app on a DVD that you put inside the Wii, and that would like juice up the what Netflix
Juice
app.
up.
Yeah, and then that's how you would actually access the streaming service. So yeah, like Wii was the first time I ever did that. I didn't use it for very long, but I think a lot of people did for many years on the Wii. It's just kind of a wild thing that's how it started. Like, I remember like it's almost like when Twitter started, like it was a texting service. Like you would get all the tweets as text. Like that's what that feels like to me now at this point, is getting a DVD from Netflix to use in your Wii.
I think the problem now is that like most TVs can just run Netflix like natively, or you can buy like a $10 USB stick to run Netflix. Like it wasn't like back then you had to have something to run Netflix off of.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that was the Wii. Like I don't know if I had Netflix on my Switch, I don't think I'd be really.
I would never
using
use it.
that. I would never use it now. It just doesn't make sense like it used to. Also, my brother, going back to Wii U and Wii and which one used their gimmick better, it just reminded me that so Mario Kart and the Wii, right? Like they had the steering thing, worked better than it should have. It helped make it very popular. The Wii U Mario Kart literally just had a horde button on the touch screen.
Okay. Yes.
So-
Fair enough. But it's not like we're like comparing good examples to bad examples. Like the best examples of the Wii U gamepad were stuff like Mario Maker and stuff like or just being able to play a game on the screen if the TV's been used.
No, give me a second example.
I'm thinking. Hang on, I'm thinking. I'm gonna need a minute. I'll come back to you.
Wow,
Okay, all right,
man,
fine.
You destroyed me there.
Fine,
Wow.
but like even when like the good examples, like no one actually
Good
enjoyed.
argument.
Like children liked using the steering wheel for Mario Kart because it's like how they played anyhow. But no one actually enjoyed it like they had a brain. Like that's not how it works.
So now it's going back to attacking the Wii instead of lifting
Correct.
up the
Yes,
Wii
that's
U.
all I had to do.
Okay.
All I have is personal attacks. That's right.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. I think I won that one. I feel
Yep,
pretty good.
fair.
All right, Giggy S. A slight variation on the buy, rent, banish to the Phantom Zone game. For this selection, pick one game to banish, one game to port to the Switch, and one you would pick up a Wii U to play it. Man, that better be pretty good for that last option. These three have not been ported to other systems outside the PC. So we have Star Fox Zero, Affordable Space Adventures, and Devil's Third.
Devil's Third is that's like worth like a lot of money, right? That's what I know about Devil's Third, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game that just visually has never appealed to me, so I barely even.
Well, I think it's a
know
bad game. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just like I don't care about Devil's Third. Affordable Space Adventures, I haven't played it, but I've played games like that where you're in like a spaceship and you have to like all kind of like have separate parts of the controls to get around. Star Fox Zero, I like more than most people, but like don't love it. Let's banish Devil's Third. Don't care about that. I think Star Fox Zero is fine staying on the Wii U. If I want to play that again for some reason, I'll just pick up my Wii U. And like it actually did use the Wii U so extensively, it'd be kind of hard to divorce it from that, even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Affordable Space Adventures, I guess that could be the one we can port to the Switch. Why not?
Yeah, I'll banish Devil's Third, and I'll port Star Fox Zero. Like, just make them do the work to make it work, whatever. And then I'll pick up a Wii U to play affordable Space Adventures.
That also
make
makes
sense.
A new Star Fox game.
Yeah, true. Absolutely, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Benji Bob asks, any thoughts on what we could see at the Pokemon Direct besides the obvious? I feel like if they're going to delay Legends, now would be the time. Maybe an update on Unite or what happened to Pokemon Sleep. So I bet we still don't hear anything about Pokemon Sleep. I bet we're going to hear something about Unite. Right? And I think it really is just mostly going to be about those remakes in Arceus. I think this is what we're going to get.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit, and I think that's probably right. They'll spend a lot of time on Arceus, and I think what Mike said earlier about like a character reveal for Unite, that seems to make some sense.
I'm not going to get a new game announced on the level of a new Pokemon Snap or anything like that.
Do you think they're going to delay Arceus?
Yes, I do. I mean, January. I mean, everything's getting delayed. So why not the game that looked like it was in rough shape when they revealed it to us?
All right, good point.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not like super expecting it. I would not be very surprised. Anderson64 asks, what are your expectations for the September Direct? Now, it's the supposed September Direct. We're assuming here. But let's say there is one. What would we expect? There would be a final sales pitch for Metroid. Metroid and WarioWare and Mario Party, and maybe they would talk about Splatoon 3 again. But if they're going to do a direct, there's got to be some announcements, and I'm at a point where I'm not sure what gets announced. I don't know if this is where you would want to announce what the Mario team is up to, whether it is Odyssey 2 or if it is that Donkey Kong game. That seems to be the next big thing we're waiting for, especially in terms of like a team we haven't heard from in a while, like that, and maybe like a little bit of the Fire Emblem team. But so that's what else we can expect. We can expect maybe to hear about that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that was rumored. So I would expect that.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get it will be mostly updates for the rest of the year. And if they give us a big update about anything coming in 2022, it will probably be something like Splatoon 3. It'll probably be like we get some info about that or something like that. But I don't have huge expectations for it because they have a lot of games still in the works. Like we still need to get Zelda, and we still need to get Metroid Prime 4, and they're probably not going to talk about either of those games at this direct. So it's going to probably be a more lower key one, maybe with some surprises that are like if they give us Silk Song and Sports Story, if they give us that info, like that's pretty big for a lot of people. So that could work.
And there's some ports people are still waiting for: Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Metroid Prime Trilogy. Those could show up at any point, and then we'll get the last Smash Brothers character. There's one more left to be revealed.
Yeah,
so
I mean, so Good Morning Games said more info on Advance Wars. Like, yeah, all those games still to come out this year. They'll give us updates on that stuff, absolutely. But like, if it's early September, they'll talk about WarioWare. But even then, that game's going to be like coming out at that point. So yeah, I would say lots of updates on stuff that's coming, and then maybe a few surprises.
All right, Keywork has 2 questions here. Number 1, why is Nintendo the exception in regards to consistent leaks? I assume it's because there are a few insiders in Japan. The leaks that do come out, I believe, almost exclusively originate from Nintendo of America, right? Yeah, no. I think that's a big part of it.
They come from Europe. They come from Nintendo of Europe.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, in terms of like, because there are a few insiders in Japan, or at least like it's hard for us to get info from Japan. Right. Or they hate us.
That's probably part of it. Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know how buttoned down Nintendo is. There's always a ton of leaks from Nintendo. I guess I don't know. I don't think they're as buttoned down as Sony. I think Sony leaks are actually way harder to get than Nintendo leaks. But I guess maybe that's just my perspective. But I don't think they're too much of an exception. I think they're about equivalent to some of these other companies. Microsoft might be a little bit more leaky than them for sure.
Question 2. Could Pokemon Diamond Pearl being developed by ILCA mean there's a chance major Pokemon games in the future can come from a developer other than Game Freak? Like, depends what you mean by major. If you mean like the sequel to Sword and Shield, no, that'll be Game Freak. But yeah, I think we can expect these remakes now to like not take up Game Freak's time anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to
it makes sense. It makes sense. Like especially if like they're going to be turning these Legends games into as big of a franchise as we expect. Like if it's going to be a big deal, those things are going to take a lot of time to develop. So they're going to need help on other projects and probably need help with that as well. So they'll probably have even more support studios coming in.
Giggy says, if it's not brought up on the episode, what do you think was the Wii U's biggest mistake with trying to sell the console? Bad marketing, name too close to its predecessor, low hardware specs, cumbersome controller. Honestly, I think it's a perfect storm of all four, making the console a hard sell to consumers. Yeah, it's a bit of everything, but the name always stuck out to me the most because, like, not only is it a stupid name and it's confusing, like what is a Wii U? Is it an add-on? Everybody thought it was an add-on at first. Like they wouldn't show the console; they just showed the tablet, so everyone was confused. But like they also didn't really read the room that people were kind of over the Wii. Like it was not the time to be like the Wii's getting a straight sequel of a console. Nobody actually wanted that. Even just like the Wii aesthetic when you started that thing up again of like a zillion Mii's everywhere and everything was very white and yeah, like I was over. Everyone was over it. Everyone was kind of done with that.
Yeah.
But
my thing was it, you know, I liked the Wii U for what it was. It just didn't even live up to its full potential because, like, for me, a lot of the fun was being able to play games on the tablet while something else was happening on the TV. So I could feel like I'm still getting a lot of time to play games, but I'm not like hogging the main TV away from anyone. And that was great. But then anytime I tried to like get up and play the tablet anywhere else, like, oh, I'm just going to go over here and eat some food, eat some dinner. Maybe I'll like let this game go in the background. And it's like, oh no, this is way too far. I'm like, it's right there. It's 15 feet away. What are you talking about? It's like, no, we lost the signal. You need to go back. I'm like, okay, that's like actually, it was like a bummer. And it meant like, it was like making this promise that it couldn't actually deliver on, that the Switch eventually did deliver on. And so that's what, you know, the Switch fits into so many people's lives in so many great ways. The Wii U was like gesturing at that and not fully delivering. So it's like people are like, I don't want this weird thing that seems like a sequel to the Wii that's just going to be this weird tablet thing. Like, what is this? And it doesn't even like do what it promises it's going to do. So yeah, you know, a lot of it was also just bad timing, like Mike said. Like people were over the Wii.
Nobody wants like a kind of portable system. Virtual Boy had a bit of that too, right? It's portable, sort of, not really, but you're not going to take it out of the house. This one you couldn't take out of the room.
Yes,
really.
Exactly. Like if you could have taken it anywhere in your house, like that would have been one thing. But even then, you're right. People want an actual legitimate portable. They figured it out. They knew what they needed to do with the Switch, and they delivered it. Mike, I think you're done with questions. I got some super chats, and I got one that's like related to this topic. Should I just jump into that?
Absolutely.
So this one's from Jedi Moss 4. He says, the Wii U is the example of the hardware being so repellent, it didn't matter how good the game library was. No one wanted the Wii U and the toyetic tablet. I think it's a bit harsh, but it's not it's not incorrect. Very few people wanted the Wii U. It was like Nintendo's first HD system, and so it was doing some cool stuff there. But if you wanted like HD games, like there were better platforms out there that made way more sense. They were getting way more games, way more third-party support, and then the tablet, like we already talked about, wasn't like doing much beyond giving you a second screen in some certain games. And yeah, it worked great with Mario Maker, but as we demonstrated earlier, not much beyond that. It didn't even deliver on all the stuff it showed in its like first trailer. I never put it on the ground and like used it as like a tee for a golfing game. Like that never happened. So
remember, like the big launch game was New Super Mario Brothers U, and Nintendo was like, "Wow, we have a Mario game for the launch again." And like again, they kind of didn't read the room there that we were just all so over New Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Like even if you're like, "Oh, there's a tablet," and if you push a button, a platform shows up there. Like no one cared anymore. We were all really over that. Do you think it would have made a difference if Breath of the Wild was a launch game instead of like the last game for that system?
It probably would have made some difference, but really Breath of the Wild needed Switch. Breath of the Wild was a special game by itself and would have mattered no matter what. Probably would have been Game of the Year on Wii U, almost certainly. But coming out alongside the Switch just turned it into such an event that it really made a difference.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Gosh, yeah. So Nick Turner's like, I have some more questions in it. Ask, these are all troll questions. If you have a guest on the podcast, what you call it, last of the Nintendogs plus cats. I don't know.
That's
we don't like.
good,
He probably
actually.
knows. We don't like having guests just because of. It's one thing for Jeff to subject me to promising that he doesn't need to reset the router, then halfway through resetting the router.
Yes.
But to do it to random people, I don't know. Plus, we start at random times.
Yeah.
Also, like our the way we talk is we're very antagonistic and mean to each other.
Right.
That works for us. But I don't
you bring someone else to that environment, and it's like it
Yeah.
ruins the whole thing. It's like are they being serious right now? And it's like no, and we can't we're not going to attack our guests, so
Yeah.
it's like you lose some of that vibe there.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about us or like our boss or like other people.
Yeah.
So. And he asked, he's been on this train forever, Nick Turbo. Why is Brawl's opening better than Maze? I don't even remember Brawl's opening. Isn't it just like out of context, like clips from the CG movies from the adventure mode, opposed to the perfectly crafted masterpiece movie made for Melee? That's like a cohesive thing. I like, even without remembering what Brawl's is, I am certain Nick Turbo is wrong. So there's that. Yeah. All right then. That's it for that. Were there more super chats?
Yeah, we got a few here. This one's from Afro Ahmed, who says, "Subgents, do you think we could see a Switch port of the original Metal Gear Solid games, mostly 1 through 3, sometime in the future?" Yeah, I think it's possible. All right, yeah, I wish too. I mean, we know that's what Konami is capable of right now. Like, we'll get the Castlevania GBA ports here pretty soon, hopefully, and that's probably going to do pretty well on Switch. And then maybe that encourages them to say, hey, let's just do this. Let's figure out a way to get these games all in a bundle on the Switch. Or you could probably even release those one at a time as like $40 alone. They probably do pretty well on Nintendo's platform.
I don't even really need I don't need much done to them. Like, no. I really do just want like ports.
Yes.
Like the Metal Gear Solid 1, Subsistence, IB.
Yes.
I know Subsistence had PlayStation 3 versions of some
right,
sort, right?
Exactly. Just port those ones, and I think we'll be good. Like, because they would be widescreen, they would be HD enough. Yeah, that would be fine. Let's just do those. Yeah, that would be great. I'm actually in the mood. I'm in the mood for some Metal Gear. Actually, I've been like planning to go back and replay that series. So that would be great. That would be fantastic. All right, we got Jedi Mostas, we got Afro Ahmeds, we got here one from someone called AJ Minotti.
Sounds like a loser.
Who says, Nintendo's known for making hardware to support their games. Wii U felt like the hardware was a response to the iPad, and the games were forced on it. Yeah, it just feels like Nintendo being too much back on their heels, trying to be like do a Nintendo take on the iPad. You're absolutely right. And then, yeah, actually figuring out like what that like. They made the hardware first, and then tried to figure out like what the games would be like for it. Whereas with the Switch, they're just like, let's build something that makes sense for a lot of people, and obviously the difference is there in the sales numbers. From Dan Dangus, hey Beef Boys, have either of you played Glover? I think it's great, but many people think otherwise. What are both of your favorite bad games? We get that question a lot, but
yeah.
Have you played Glover?
Yeah, I would rent Glover multiple times because I liked the concept so much. I never actually liked playing it very much.
Yep.
I think I would like it maybe more now. I think I could get into it a little bit deeper, but I like the idea, Glover. That's a game that had a PlayStation 1 version, and I just never think about that.
Weird.
I always associate that with Nintendo 64.
Same. I mean, like those 3D platformers, you just because the Nintendo 64 came with an analog stick, right? I mean, even once you had the dual stick, like they didn't count on you having that. So like there weren't a lot of great 3D platformers on the PlayStation. They had a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I played Glover and Buck Bumble and
Buck Bumble was fun just because you could fly.
Yes, you could fly. Yeah, it was like a platformer via Star Fox or something.
One of those has just got remastered, Zool, right? Like it's like one of those ones I only ever saw in magazine ads and like on like exactly. in the store shelf and never played it, and like it's remastered now. There's Zools out there.
Yeah,
that's nice. Hey,
I'm trying to think of some others in that same wheelhouse, but I can't remember. But I rented a ton of them. I rented like so many of those games. Banjo and Mario 64 obviously were the better ones, and then everything else is kind of down several tiers. But do you have like a favorite go-to bad game, Mike?
No, I don't know. There's too many good games anymore.
I know that's kind of how I feel
every
too.
Every time I get this question, I feel like I have a different answer. Right now, nothing really. There's like some like licensed games that aren't that great that I can still enjoy, like Deadpool, for example. Because I last time I brought up the Universal Studios game for GameCube. I think that's my best answer. A game that is objectively very bad, but I can get some enjoyment out of it just because. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I do like whenever I play Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. It was a Blockbuster exclusive. You had to have the expansion pack. It was a Factor 5 game, so it was using like a lot of proprietary tech that actually makes it really hard to emulate now. So whenever I get the emulation set up where I can actually run that game, it's like, oh yeah, this thing. But it's like a really stiff 3D exploration adventure game, and you have a whip and stuff, and you have to like it's like if the original Prince of Persia was in 3D and was like, but it still had that same super deliberate pace. And yet it's Indiana Jones, so I still kind of like it.
You know what's a bad game I think about all the time, and I don't think I actually played much of it, is Blue Stinger, which was an early Resident Evil ripoff for Dreamcast.
Yes.
I just remember, like, I think it was because of that EGM issue with like, all the Dreamcast games. Everything was exciting.
Right.
I
It,
remember
it had like a full page. Like each of these games had almost like a full page, and like Blue Stinger's sung like it's like, whoa, that looks different. Like I definitely want to try all these like Dreamcast games that like I recognize, but this looks different. I'm gonna try that. And it was bad, but I do think about it a lot as well.
Yeah, so like, even though like that game's not supposed to be good, I want to play Blue Stinger someday because like I was so excited for that game at one point. Then like reviews were like, oh, it's bad, never mind. I was so deflated, and now I just went, I'm gonna play it anyway. Screw you guys, you can't tell me what to think. That's a great name, Blue Stinger. That's a much better name than Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, right? Is that what that was?
I did not think you were gonna get all those syllables, and you did. You got there.
I thought like as I was saying it,
he's gonna give up halfway through. Yeah,
accidentally. That's the joke, but that was actually all correct.
I know, but it's like it still sounds like you were trying to deliberately say wrong things.
Sounds like a made-up name. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Oreo cream.
We have a bunch more super chats, but I do want to. Okay, I want to put this out there publicly because it might hold us to it. So I think I want to do a extra life stream this year where we raise money for charity. I think what I want to do is I'm going to stream some games for sure, but I might make Mike come on and play Blue Stinger with me, where Mike will act. I'll help you set it up, Mike. We'll set it up so you can stream it, and I'll commentate over it, and that'll be like your section of the stream.
That'd be fun.
And so we'll do like 12, maybe 24 hours. That seems like a lot for an old man like me, but at least 12 hours. And we'll have a section where you play Blue Stinger. So
I can pick up the other 12. I can rope my brothers into it. We can go full 24.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do 12 and 12. Perfect. Okay.
AJ, you're up for that. You can stay up all night. This is great.
All right, perfect. So we'll get set up, and Mike your AJ can help set up too. So I know I can rely on him for the tech stuff. So that'll be great. No, definitely not. Okay, yeah, we'll start planning that. So look out for our extra live stream later this year. All right, we got Dan Dangus, which is a great name. ASAP Rel says first Metal Gear and Kojima both suck, and I'm not kidding. Okay. Also, is there any truth to a new Donkey Kong game?
Metal Gear Solid 1's a masterpiece. Like, nah, come on, get out of here with that.
It's the game that made me like, I have to get a PlayStation to play this game, and I do not regret it. I love that game to this day. I loved it then. It's fantastic. It is a masterpiece.
Yes, I guess so. It's one of the games that people are like, oh, it's age. I'm like, nah. I still love that. Metal Gear Solid 1's fantastic. Kojima is a weirdo. Like, I get it.
I don't care what your opinion on that is.
Who cares? But Metal Gear Solid 1, oof.
I'm getting an important call. Let me take this real quick. Hang on.
Oh, man, I was hoping it would be a joke. Well, I'll read this super chat from Infernal Tim 1 because it's directed to me. Mike, if you enjoyed your food from the new place in town, swing past Friday afternoon after 4 for all day Saturday and Sunday. Next meal is on me. He's talking about Chula, which just opened near me, which is a fast casual Indian restaurant. I was just there for lunch today. It was very nice. Thank you, Tim. You don't have to buy me my meal. You already just sent me a super chat, though. You've already bought me plenty of meals. Man, I got some naan bread. I think naan bread's one of my new favorite foods. I don't know why. It's just bread. But it's like slightly charred in some places, and it tastes very good, and it's easy to rip apart, and stuffed with rice and meat. So that is the good stuff. I can't vamp any more than that, so I'm getting the flute out. Oh, okay.
I'm back. I'm back.
You.
Wow, yeah. I'm sure there will be reason for the flute at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, I read Tim's super chat while you're gone.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. So, that does it for the super chats. Then I got no more. But if anyone else wants to send any more, we will definitely get to them before the end of the show.
All right, it is time to talk about our favorite Wii U games. If you want to tell us about your favorite Wii U game and you haven't done so in our Discord, you can send a super chat now, and we will include it in the discussion. Jeff, when we started, you panicked and asked me what your favorite Wii U game was, and I had the correct answer. I remembered. You didn't.
I did not. I would have gone and looked at a list and be like, oh yeah, of course that's it. But you had it right away. You were even like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to help you with this. You had a week to think about it, and then you couldn't even help it because it was so obvious.
So obvious was I got mad, as I often do.
So my favorite Wii U game is Super Mario Maker. They did a great job of creating the creation tools themselves. They're very simple to use. They're very fun to use. It's like a fun game to stream while you're creating because people could throw out ideas and it's very simple to implement ideas. Like everyone fully understands what a Mario level can be, and they also fully understand the fun ways that to like undermine what a Mario level can be to make it even dumber or make it something that's really stupidly difficult. And that stuff's great. The reason that I personally have a great relationship with this game is because I got into like a beef with one creator where he would make very challenging levels and like specifically for me, and then I'd go and play them, and I'd struggle and I'd stream myself trying to beat them. I think some of the videos are still up on my YouTube channel, and they're a lot of fun just to watch. We try to struggle to beat these levels, and then once I would finally get through them, the creator would feel even more challenged. This is someone I just met through Super Mario Maker, and then we started talking on Twitter, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna make something even more difficult, and we would go back and forth, and it just felt like this like really special thing because like someone's making Mario specifically for me, and everything is like, I would always like fall into his traps the first time. It was so like frustrating, but also exhilarating because you know another human was on the other side of that. Specifically knowing like if he's going to go here and he's going to try to avoid this one obstacle, and he's going to go down here and he's going to think he made it, and when he jumps back up, there's going to be an invisible block that keeps him stuck in there, and I'm going to set up a sound effect to go off when that happens because it like is salt in the wound. And that happens, and I'll freak out, but it's like so much fun that I'm still having a great time, even as I'm being trolled actively. It's a special game, and one of the best games I've ever played because of that.
Do you like it more than Mario Maker 2?
Yeah, because it made more sense on the Wii U. Like having the Wii U gamepad actually works, because when you try to play like Super Mario Maker on a TV on the Switch, now you don't have a tablet to actually create this stuff. You have to work with a controller or something like that, and I wonder, I can't remember, like, because they've added mouse controls to something else more recently. I can't remember what it was, but I like if they would have added mouse and like keyboard controls to that would, it was to that Game Maker Garage. You could use mouse with that.
Oh.
It's like if they would have added that to Super Mario Maker 2, maybe that could have worked. But even then, the tablet was like, it was a game designed around that tablet. So when you try to move it to something where it's like, yeah, maybe you'll have it as you're playing in handheld mode, but you're not going to have a stylus. You're going to have to use your finger, and that's a little bit more clumsy. It just wasn't as elegant. But I still like really liked it, and there was a lot of cool stuff added to Super Mario Maker 2. It's still one of my favorite games as well. But Super Mario Maker was just this ideal creation where I just fell into it perfectly, and yeah, it's one of my favorite games ever made.
Yeah. This is a hard one for me. I like Mario Maker. I'm just not as into like those make your own games kind of games.
Yeah,
for whatever
a lot of
reason.
people aren't. Yeah,
right. Unless it's a theme park. If I'm making a theme park in a game, I love that shit. But yeah, this not so much. Then there's like, so it's like the one I liked the most at the time was Smash Brothers, which had the very boring name Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. But that's a game where the sequel they made for Switch is just better pretty much every way. Same thing with Splatoon 2. And like a lot of the games that were good and got ported, we talked about this before. Super Mario 3D World, I was lukewarm on that game when it was on Wii U. And
you were wrong at the time. Let's be clear. Like that was more a you problem than the game's problem. But I get what you're saying.
Well, but maybe because the Switch version came out and made everyone move a little bit faster.
They
added that midair dive move from Odyssey, which just really opened that up.
It got better, no doubt.
It got better, and that's where I really, for some reason, fell in love with 3D World. And now it's one of my favorite games. So, but that's not one of my favorite Wii U games. I wouldn't want to play that version. I played like a lot of Shovel Knight on the Wii U actually at first and loved that, but now I just play on Switch. Honestly, my answer is Wind Waker. It's the Wind Waker HD port. And this is a good excuse for me to get Wind Waker in here because Wind Waker was one of my favorite GameCube games, but I liked Metroid Prime and Melee just a little bit more. But the stuff they added there was great. It still looks fantastic. Again, like the Wii U pad was even nice because you don't have to pause to go to your inventory. You can just kind of do it right here. It's like even when they port that game to Switch, which they probably will, I am going to miss that. It won't be a huge deal, but I am going to miss that functionality. The only problem I had with that was that they didn't update the music because the GameCube MIDI sound quality of those compositions is a little rough, and it dates it way more than anything else.
Yep, I that's a good answer though, because you're right. Like it was a substantial update on the Wii U, and it's like if/when that game comes to Switch, it'll just be that version, and that'll be fine. Like it'll be great to have that version on Switch. So So yeah, but then once again, that's like taking something away from the Wii U. How do you feel about that overall? Like this, like the mining the Wii U for Switch games. To me, I'm okay with it. It makes a lot of sense, and it doesn't actually diminish my opinion of the Wii U too much. In fact, it makes me go, that system did have a lot of really good games.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Like, it makes me happy when something like 3D World sells better than it did on Wii U, because that's a game that I didn't want Wii 3D World to become like did you even play that one? Because it was on that system. No play. Say like Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3, all these things. I think it's good. And look, I don't want to have to plug in my Wii U anymore. Just if you can and it makes sense, just put it on the Switch. Makes a lot of money. I'd rather play it on there anyways. I am 100% for it.
I will say real quick before we get on to the responses from our listeners, the Wii U, still a really good system for kids.
Right.
They have that big Wii U gamepad. It is toyetic in the best way for kids, where it's big, it's beefy, it's Fisher Price. You feel like you can hand it to them and it's not going to get destroyed. And so far, mine hasn't. And they'll like, I have it all like the hard drive set up so they can just pick from a bunch of games, and they go through and they play stuff every once in a while, and I just feel okay about it. It's way more sturdy than the Switch, so yeah, still a really good game for like 2 and 4 year olds.
How gross is that screen though?
Yeah, I have to regularly go in there, and it's not as bad.
Grubby is it?
Yeah,
how grubby with the little grub hands.
It's grubby with the little grub hands. I have to like regularly keep it clean, but it's not as bad as like their tablets. Jesus, they're
God,
Amazon Fire tablets, and
they're so sticky.
Yes, man. It's unbelievable. But yeah.
All right, we've posed this question to everyone in our Discord and all of our patrons. Let's get to some of their answers. Nick Turbo says the best Wii U game is Xenoblade Chronicles X, a great game that deserves to be on the Switch. This is one of the few remaining ones that hasn't been ported over that I'm just kind of waiting for. Like why not? So maybe after Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because we had the remake of 1 in between 2 and 3, then we can do the like X coming over to the Switch after that. Like at some point this game's going to get ported. Why not? I'm curious to play it, because some of the reasons people seem to not like it as much, like less of an emphasis on story and its big open world, I might actually prefer, I think. So we'll see. Aaron Tonsis says the best Wii U game was the Wind Waker remaster. I agree. Outside of that, the console was really only good for a legal way to play old Nintendo games on the Virtual Console. That's harsh, but it did have the Virtual Console, which was nice.
It was pretty good. The one thing is that the Wii made those games look a little bit better than the Wii U did. Like the scaling on the Wii U for those old games wasn't great. So when you transferred your Wii Virtual Console to the Wii U, it's great that they had that, but it was like a permanent thing, and I always regret doing that, because I wish my Wii had all those games still, and that would be like just connect that to an SD TV and just take it from there. But yeah, it did have the Virtual Console, and it's a good way to go back and play Metroid Fusion games and stuff like that.
Knoble says Pokemon Rumble U. It's a hidden gem and a great party game. I play it every year with a few friends, and it's always a great time. And they used amiibos before amiibos even existed. And I don't even remember Pokemon Rumble U.
Me neither.
Very well.
Me neither. I have no idea what it is. I'm like gonna look up pictures of it, but okay.
Yeah, cool. I bet if I saw it, I would remember. But I don't think
I might
played it.
Try it. I might go play it. So
there you go. Yeah, play with your kids. They'll love it.
Yeah.
Gosh, now I need to too, because it's gonna bother me. What the hell was Pokemon Rumble? Was it like that amiibo board game for Animal Crossing? Was it something like that?
It says, yeah, it was successor to the Pokemon Rumble Blast. It's just like giving me like the most basic information.
Yeah, look, I don't know what this is. This was a thing apparently. It looks like you're playing with little toy Pokemon. What the hell was this? Was this a retail game?
Hang on.
It did have amiibo. It had amiibo, but they look like little papercraft creatures. Okay, this was a game apparently. Yeah, like they all look origami-ish.
Here, I'm gonna play the trailer for us.
All right.
Let's see here.
If you get trailers up, we might have to have you play the Melee and then the Brawl Smash Brothers trailers and run a poll, so we can finally prove Nick Turbo wrong once and for all.
All right, let me get it sized.
Now we're getting this set up. This was before Amiibo. So Amiibo launched with Smash Brothers, right? Like that was when that all happened.
Yeah, that sounds right.
For Wii U, which was great.
Let's check to see what the audio is going to be. Hang on.
There we go. Palpitoad, Seismitoad.
Okay, they can't hear it. I could set it up so they could hear it, but they can't hear it yet. But
might be for the best. I don't think there's much they need to hear, except for the people on the audio podcast.
Well, so we can talk it through it. Yeah, tell them what's happening. Wait, do you know what's happening? Because I don't know what's happening.
Look, it's like
It looks like a party
it's like-
game.
it looks like if Pikmin met Mario Party met Pokemon.
Yeah, there you go. Also, bring your NFC figures. Oh wow! So those are like proto amiibos.
They are proto. They literally are. They must be, them testing the technology. Yeah, look at that. It's literally amiibos. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why I have no memory of this. Ha.
All right, I'll get this Brawl thing while you're reading through the rest of these inputs from the audience. Yeah,
All
inputs. Right. Yeah.
Jayton says, best Wii U game in terms of single player. I loved Mario Maker. The game near my birthday. I got the game near my birthday, and oh my god, I love seeing people's creative levels. My favorite aspect was scanning my amiibo for the character mushrooms. And there are so many that I don't even think I have all of them. I still do associate the Wii U with amiibo more than the other consoles. Like Switch, uses amiibos, but it's just not the same. Okay, so here's Brawls.
Yeah. Hang on. Go read another one because I am gonna get the audio for this one. Let's just do that.
It'll be good. Yeah. Okay, Wildfire Alex says this might be strange, but my favorite Wii U titles are actually Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Not that strange. In my opinion, those ports and updates just made them infinitely better than their original releases. I'm probably in the minority for this, but that's how I truly feel about them. There's a lot of people bringing up these Zelda ports, which maybe
I guess it does say something about the Wii. I think more than that just says like people weren't too keen on Wii U games, so they're just like going to go with stuff that they understood were going to be good.
Oh man, you're giving away the questions now before I even answer them.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right. I got Brawl here. You ready to watch this?
All right, you got audio. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's see. I have audio. I'm going to keep it pretty low. Actually, that's kind of high. There we go. You might not be able to hear it, but you'll be able to hear it on the stream.
I know the song.
Yeah.
I remember there was a big YTMND back in the day where it was like they guessed the lyrics over it. It was nonsense. Good stuff. Yeah, this is exactly what I said it was. They're just using cutscenes from the adventure mode and putting them with no rhyme or reason into the song. I mean, they're nice looking cutscenes. Like, it's fine.
Nick Turbo's saying it's better than what? Melees?
Melees. Yeah, now it's just gameplay footage. Now it's just, it was Ike doing a taunt. Yeah. Like Wario's there, so that's good. Yeah, little things of each. Oh, Dick's gonna be so mad that you're blocking the video.
I stopped. Hang on.
He's gonna be so mad. He's like, this wasn't a fair viewing of it. Now it's been tainted.
There's Pikachu writhing.
Yeah, the music in all of them is good. Like, look, I get it. Yeah, we're gonna show a little bit of each of the characters here. That's basically what the Switch one does. And the Switch one does the same thing, except they didn't have nearly as many CG videos, so it was just mostly like clips from the game. Like it's fine, and the song is good, but it gets me hyped up.
All right.
Look, I'm just telling you what I'm looking at, Nick Turbo. Like, it's fine. Look, now they're doing taunts in the game. Okay, like there's a little bit of that in the Melee one. I think there's some gameplay footage. Well, you're not even going to let it finish. Wow,
no,
that wasn't me, Nick. That wasn't me. That was Jeff.
No, that was me making an executive decision.
Yeah, that was Jeff bored. Jeff was bored and wanted to move on. Okay.
Well, I'm just worried because we got a lot of like inputs to get through, and I do have to go pick up my kid at 3:30. So, and that's an hour and 10 minutes away, but still.
Okay, look how much better this is already. Like this was made to be an intro.
Okay, I know this one is pretty good. I remember that Donkey Kong one being like, "Oh, that's hype."
Come on, that thing where Samus fights Ridley, like that was that because there wasn't an Nintendo 64 Metroid game.
No.
So seeing that was the greatest thing in the world. He's holding the baby Metroid thing. Oh God. Wow, look at all these things that are beautifully crafted and artistic and have interesting transitions between each other, as opposed to just random clips thrown in there.
I think they're both good
from something else.
All right, so so we've watched both. I'm gonna put up I'm gonna create a poll, and I'm not gonna say which one I like better. So
yeah, I know which one you like. Look, come on, when Sheik and Zelda look up to the stars, and then first you see Kirby, and then it's the Star Fox thing. Come on, 3D NES. Whoever saw 3D NES before this? Yeah, giant angry Bowser. Oh, come on. It's not even close, Nick Turbo. We'll do the poll. It's fine.
All right. There we go. All right, let me turn this off. There we go. Okay.
It's important that I can still vote in the poll.
Yes, you can still vote in the poll.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Nick can both vote, so you guys cancel each other out. There you go.
That's very good.
Oh, it's 50-50 already.
Not for me. Give it a second.
Oh, yep. All right, there goes. You're right.
I won't let that roll. I won't say. I won't influence it anymore beyond that. But yeah, the truth will set you free, Nick Turbo.
All right. And honestly, was Nick Turbo even alive when the GameCube came out? He's like 12 years old. So
yeah, you know what? Look, he's the one who kept pushing this. I didn't want to have to shove his nose in it that everybody thinks he's wrong. But like, look, if he wants to go for it, I'll go for it. I'll use public opinion. I'll use whatever tools I got. Schaefer, favorite Wii U game. Nobody ever talks about how good Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE, the Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei game is. It's like a mini Persona game, has an incredible sense of style, and the best battle system in any RPG I've ever played. It's all about chaining character attacks together. So when one person attacks, it sets off a chain reaction of other people dogpiling them. Being able to have one character attack, only to have your entire party join in one after the other, looping around multiple times, is extremely satisfying. And also, all of the characters are Japanese idols, so their super moves are stage routines, and it absolutely kicks ass in every way.
it sounds like a really fun game. I kind of want to give it a shot, but I don't know if it's my thing.
It's not your thing. I played it on Switch. It's another game. It's just on Switch now. You should play it there. And I did like it. He's right. The battle system is fantastic. It's definitely the highlight. The idol stuff with the music and their super moves is great. Very forgettable story, and the characters are whatever. It's kind of the same thing with Xenoblade, where the main character is just so boring. Like, the main character in this game is just like, his main character trait is that he's nice and everyone likes him, and he's very supportive of his friends, and they support. It's boring as hell.
Yeah, sounds boring
stuff. But the battle system is very good. Man, I'm just dunking on the JRPGs. I feel like I like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but it is missing just a little bit something there, where people are going to be like, that's one of the best JRPGs ever. And usually that stuff comes down to like story and emotional connections, and you can't get there all the way with a good battle system or even with good music. You got to have a little something extra. It was almost there.
Real quick, super chat from BitCloud Gaming. Thanks for showing up, Bit. I appreciate it. Taking trips down memory lane, I see. Yeah, they've been beefing this whole episode.
Podcast. It's a Nintendo podcast.
Honestly, yeah, that's a Nintendo podcast. We're all nostalgia here. That's a good point. That's kind of all we do here, yeah. All right, yeah, let's get back to these input. I'm just going to call them inputs from now on.
Inputs?
I don't know. Inputs from the community. I don't know.
Is that like activations?
Yeah, activations. Yeah, let's get to our PR activations.
Low Rule Legend says Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild feel like cheating, so I'm going to go with Pikmin 3. Super fun and unique gameplay. Nothing quite like it out there. Also, it's a stunning game on the Wii U. I feel very bad that I have never gotten into Pikmin. At some point, I'm going to get Pikmin 3 on Switch and give it one last go.
Give it one last go. I would appreciate that, because I think they nailed it on that one. I think it's the ideal form of Pikmin. It was better even than the Wii U version, which Pikmin 3 definitely one of my favorite Wii U games, but it is significantly better on the Switch in terms of just playability and getting you into it. Yeah, I love that game quite a lot. And I think this is the one you'll like at the very least. You might not come out and be like, oh, now I am a Pikmin fan, but you'll at least be like, that was a fun game, and I was glad I spent my time with it.
I thought I'm not supposed to play the 2D one on the 3DS.
Right. Apparently that one's bad. I've never played it either. I might actually try it now, because I got my.
Hey, Nintendog.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That's our new name. Hey, Nintendog.
Hey, Nintendogs. Yeah.
Hey, Pikachu. Hey, you, Pikachu. Nick Turbo did remind me that we talked about Tokyo Mirage Sessions and did not bring up Vagina Bones, so shame on us.
That's a good point. Thank you, Nick.
That
we
was
appreciate
that game.
Yep. Vagina Bones was that game.
Temporary truce. All right. Benji Bob says favorite Wii U game has to be Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and shout out to Donkey Kong Country Returns, because they were sacrificed in order for its predecessor to be the best in its genre. It was the perfect blend of challenging but fair. The replay value is incredible, and co-op wasn't just shoehorned in. The other Kongs all had meaningful abilities that could be situational, and of course, another killer soundtrack. The soundtrack is very good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like up there with like the old school Donkey Kong Country.
Yes, it is. It's got great music. Yeah, that's one where I want to go back and play it a lot, like all the time. Is Tropical Freeze. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost afraid to say that when it came out, I played the Wii U when I reviewed it, and I only gave it a 7 out of 10. And now I'm wondering, I'm wondering if I missed something. I don't know. I liked it, but I remember at the time being like, it's okay. It's not like one of the better 2D games you can play anymore with all these great indies out there. Maybe there's this was also before I kind of understood Donkey Kong Country more. So maybe if I played it now, I'd be more favorable.
I
thought the
wonder if you
bosses
would.
sucked. I'll still stick to that. The bosses were boring. They're very much like wait for the bosses to do their like routine, their pattern, and then jump on their head when they do the one thing. Great. So yeah, but soundtrack is great. Man, I'm just dunking on these Wii U games. I don't,
Yeah, you're a real son of a bitch. Yeah.
The ones people love, like Tropical Freeze. I'm like,
Hey,
Tropical Freeze is fine,
what's your favorite Wii U game so I could shit on it? Like, that's kind of what you've done here. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I'm going to be ending this poll real soon, though, because there's going to be a mercy killing, really. So if you still want to vote on your favorite intro for Smash Bros., get that in there. Get that in there so we can let Nick Turbo know what's up. Mogos87 says, my favorite Wii U game is Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. A real great game when originally released. The Director's Cut adds gameplay integration, which really makes it shine. Probably one of the best Wii U games to really utilize the gamepad. It's weird how early on there was third-party support.
Yes.
And it was like Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. It was like Mass Effect 3 on the Switch.
I kind of want to go play these games. I don't know why, but
it's
like
just so weird to think about playing those games on the Wii U. Like you could.
Yes. Like third-party Wii U games, especially the big ones. It's just because it didn't take very long for this to stop. Like I don't think there were ever any Madden games or anything like that, so it never got to that point. But yeah, we got Deus Ex and Mass Effect right there, and Batman at the launch. I have heard good things about these versions. It's just no one bought them there. That was not who was buying the Wii U.
Yeah, no, and they've learned that a little bit now. Like there's some room for some of that stuff, like putting Doom on the Switch.
Right. I mean, the Switch is just selling to everybody, so those games have a chance on the Switch.
Bayonetta 2 is incredible just for the fact that it exists, let alone that's an amazing game. Also included a port of the original Bayonetta with Nintendo costumes that Nintendo apparently asked to show more cleavage on the Link costume.
Yeah, this is when Nintendo got horny. Yeah.
Well, they're desperate. Like, look, we'll have Link show his tits.
We
gotta sell some Wii
We'll do anything. Well, you're gonna need Link to show his tits if you want to. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. God.
Lower. I played Bayonetta 2 and I did like it. I don't know. I don't want to do this again. I'm not dunking on Bayonetta 2. I liked it.
Bayonetta 2 is fantastic. What are you going to say here? Should I just take this one? Bayonetta 2 is great. I love it. Oh my God!
Look, I mean, I don't remember anything about the story. I remember there's an annoying kid. Well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of that bullshit. And it was also very clear, like, we don't have as much money this time. Instead of cutscenes, here's some still pictures, like a storybook. Like, that was it's fine, but I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't awkward.
It's so much fun. It's like such a good combat system. You do feel like super stylish the entire time. She is like a dominatrix badass, and you feel that way when you're playing the game. Mike, I played that game when I felt like a dominatrix. That's what I want to say. So it's a good game. That's great. Thank you.
Do me a favor and end the poll while I yell at you.
Okay.
It's like Hitman 2. Hitman 2 is great, and it's better than Hitman 1, but it was noticeable that instead of the high-end CG cutscenes, now we just had pictures in between the missions to move the story along, right? It's like that second disc of Xeno
Saga?
No, before that,
Xenogears.
Xenogears, where like we ran out of money. Here's the storybook. We're gonna tell you how this ends. No, but that 2 is very good.
That didn't matter. It didn't affect the game. It didn't matter because I don't remember that. I love that game, and I never remember having any issue. I never really played Bayonetta 1 because I didn't get into it. So maybe that's the thing. It's like Bayonetta 2 actually clicked with me.
Which intro is better? Smash Brothers Melee has 75% of the vote. Smash Brothers Brawl, a very paltry Wii 25%.
Oh my God.
56 people voted. Well, wow, that's one of our higher ratios, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it sure is.
I'm glad we settled that. That was with 56 votes. So a lot of people just abstained because they're like, I don't give a shit about this.
Wow, how dare they? Napper says, my favorite Wii U games are the virtual console games. Bring DS and 64 games to Switch, please. You know, I actually didn't do too much virtual consoling.
I did way more on the 3DS. Like the 3DS was a good virtual console system.
I did a ton of virtual consoling on the 3DS, especially NES games. Like the virtual console versions of the Mega Man games were fantastic. Like a lot of them got rid of some of the lag that would happen on those games. So those are very nice. All right, Giggy's going to say it. I thought Star Fox Zero was pretty neat. To me, it felt like being both the pilot and gunner in the movie The Last Starfighter, and you can find a co-op buddy. It makes for an interesting experience. I do agree that it can be cumbersome to control, and it is very short compared to other games in the genre. It's not the best Star Fox game in the series, but at least it tried to be different, and I commend it for that. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like if I actually had to play it again, I would begin to turn on it finally. Like I was always Mr. Defending Metroid Other M, and now I have to watch Jeff play it. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm like giving this game a little too much slack. Like I still don't think it's awful like some people say, but
it's okay. It's that's right.
Okay.
Continues to be a real strong, well, a middling 3 out of 5 so far. Yeah.
Jake Bogdanov says Pikmin 3. I really appreciated the way the game removed the stress of exploration and allow you to manage time instead of being controlled by it. For the record, I only played Breath on Switch. I think most people only played Breath.
Yeah, right. I think that's why we haven't had it as an answer yet. Yeah, Pikmin 3 is great, Jake. I'm right there with you. Absolutely. I got a super chat here from Stephen Lamb that pertains to this topic. He says, my favorite Wii U game is Wind Waker HD. Tried to get into Wind Waker on GameCube, but couldn't. Really enjoyed the Wii U version, though. Great game. So he agrees with you, Mike.
So I remember like the two big quality of life things on the Wii U version was you had that special sail that let you go faster on the water.
Yes.
And it kind of shortened the Triforce quest. So that I forget what it was. Or something like you didn't have to take as many maps back to Tingle. Like the maps would just tell you where something like that. But that helped that piece off.
Real quick, Nick Turbo keeps saying that Breath of the Wild sold 1 million on Wii U, and I want to put that in perspective. So that's pretty good. But there were like, was it 13 million or 16 million Wii U's? Something like that. So let's just say it's 13 million. So that's 1/13 of the audience of Wii U owners bought Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild has sold like 20 million on Switch, and that is 1/4 of basically right around 1/4 of the people or the number of Switches in the world. So just to show the difference, like even on Wii, like clearly a lot of people who were going to buy it on Wii U bought it on Switch, but 1/4 of Switch owners bought that game, and that's like it's just a whole other world. So yeah, most people played it on Switch.
Anderson64 says favorite Wii U game was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
That's a good one.
The chill puzzle-solving aspect of the game. Splatoon also gets credit for being such a fresh and fun idea. The 3DS Wii U era is when I really got back into Nintendo, which feels weird to say. Now, that's another one that I want to get on Switch at some point is Treasure Tracker, because I actually haven't played it, and I like those stages from 3D World.
Yeah,
so it's on the
a good
to-do
game.
list.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, I like they finally we should give Toad a game. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they won't give Wario a game, but whatever. Or Waluigi a game, I mean. But yeah.
Someday they'll have to. Someday they'll run out of
I think they will
else.
eventually. Yep.
They'll exhaust every other possible idea. And then Keywork says favorite Wii U game has to be Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Is it just Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, or is it Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze?
I think it's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
I think that's right. I think that's correct.
Yeah, because I think they wanted to they want to delineate between Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country, and Donkey Kong games come from like Nintendo, I think, and the Country games come from Retro and Rare.
One of God's gifts to the world deserves to be loved as much or more so than Mario Odyssey. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
It's very good. It's not. I don't think it's in a Mario Odyssey tier.
Yeah, me and you are both very high on Mario Odyssey. I think most people are, but there's definitely like a contingency of, or like there's a group of people who have a backlash towards Odyssey for whatever reason, and I just don't get it at all. But
no.
I have replayed it 2.5 times. Odyssey is just so good.
At least the people who have bad opinions about Breath of the Wild, like they have like their talking points in order. Like they're stupid, and I don't get it.
Yes, yeah.
They're bad, but at least
I wish the game was worse. Okay.
Yeah. But Mario Odyssey, it's like, what don't you like about? Like, okay, all right.
Exactly. I have no more super chats from the audience about this. Mike, do you have any more inputs?
So I will say this about Tropical Freeze, because I was a little hard on it. I think it's clearly the best 2D platformer Nintendo has put out in a long time. Like compared to the really awful Kirby and especially Yoshi games we gotten recently, Tropical Freeze is wonderful. It's better. It's also better than all the new Super Mario Brothers games, I think. So
Sweet Life of Dio Brando in chat says Odyssey is good, but not better than 64. Sunshine, Galaxy, or Galaxy 2?
I can't get mad at you saying it's not better than 64, Galaxy, or Galaxy 2. I think I disagree. I think it's my favorite. But okay, look, and I used to be Mr. Sunshine Defender. Odyssey is clearly better than Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, I'm like struggling to understand this opinion. But if it's just your like taste and that you like those other games better, that's fine. But like you're right, I never really hear the excuses for why or the explanations for why. Not that you don't have them, Dio Brando, but just I've never heard them.
Are there any big Wii? I saw some people in chat saying Nintendo Land, which surprised me. I thought everyone was.
I've never played Nintendo
Everyone
Land.
was. It came with Nintendo Land, didn't it?
Well,
no,
here's
you
the
didn't have to buy Nintendo Land. It should have come with Nintendo Land.
Right. If it came with one of them, it came with the black one. I got a white Wii U because I couldn't find. I got it on launch day and I couldn't find the good one, so I got the cheap one that has like less storage or whatever. And did not. It definitely didn't come with Nintendo Land if the other one did.
Was Nintendo Land a pack-in? Because I feel like there was like a talk about how it should have been.
It definitely should have been.
It was a pack-in launch. Okay. That makes. All right, at least at some point or another. I thought everybody was down on it at the time because like everyone's like, well, this isn't going to move things like Wii Sports did, which was kind of correct. It was fun though. It was neat, but some of those games were definitely better than others. It was an interesting idea. Yeah. But I mean, Mario Kart 8 probably deserves at least a mention. Like, obviously, it was so good that when they just put it on the Switch, it became like one of the best-selling games ever.
Right, and that's like it's definitely up there for me. It's in my. I think it's probably in my top 5 for the Wii U. But I don't know. You know, Super Mario 3D World is up there. Did anyone say 3D World?
No one said it, but again, I think
just
we just saw like the
Switch effect. Yeah, out there. Yeah, people are playing on Switch. They just kind of. Wii U had a lot of great games. But
you know, I just remember they made a sequel to Kirby Canvas Curse on there, and somehow it wasn't as good. Like,
yeah, I mean, Canvas
Curse
is a classic. But yeah, Splatoon obviously was great. I'm trying to think of.
You know what? Like, what's another one I want to play now? It's on Switch. Is Wonderful 101.
Yeah, I that one never like Bayonetta 2 was the platinum one that I liked. That one didn't work for me.
See, that one, I don't know. That seems intriguing to me. I kind of want to play more of that.
I mean, it's out on a bunch of stuff now, so yeah, I think it's on PC even. So
some people were saying Zombie, which I feel like got some attention. It was like the Red Steel of the Wii U, but actually supposed to be good.
Yeah,
right? Like,
It's never been like kind of like scary games, but you know what? I don't even like stressful games, and that one seems like it's deliberately made to be stressful. Where like
it's a zombie game.
Yeah, but like you're supposed to like in real time look down at the tablet. And then you can't, like, it blocks the screen while you're doing that. So you can't see, but zombies could still come attack you. So it's like, you're supposed to, it's like this risk reward where, like, okay, I'm going to do some, like, item management or whatever, but you could get attacked in that time. And it's like, oh, that does sound very stressful. It sounds like a cool mechanic, and I get why people like that, but it's too stressful for me. What about Paper Mario Color Splash?
No. That game has some defenders, I know, but I just can't do it.
I mean,
I couldn't even bring myself to play Origami King, which is supposed to be much better. I still can't bring myself to do it. I think I'm just going to get frustrated and sad. Do you even remember the Mario versus Donkey Kong games on the Wii U? This is where that series finally died, I think.
Good. I never liked those games. It always bummed me out that we got more of that instead of Donkey Kong 94.
Well, so. I mean, that's the lineage. The first Mario versus Donkey Kong is just a straight up Donkey Kong 64 sequel, and it's like pretty good. It's not as good, but it's very similar to that. It had those minis in like the bonus levels, and then it just all became like a Lemmings ripoff at some point.
It was such a misunderstanding of that whole franchise after a while. But I think that I'm looking at like a list of other games, and
sure that's all
there's
the
like
big ones.
Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge for the Wii U. So no.
Oh, you know what? You know which one I need to give a shout out to is Sega Sonic All Stars Transformed. Which, good game.
An
early game.
Yeah,
I played that a lot on my Wii U. I liked that a lot. That was fantastic.
A good game.
I know it's on other platforms, but I associate that one with the Wii U.
What about Sonic Lost World?
Man, that was disappointing because it seemed like they did everything I wanted them to do. They like rethought how Sonic should move in a 3D space. They rethought how level design should work with that. It looked good, and then it was somehow just still bad. It just somehow still didn't work. That was disappointing because just looking at it, it was like, they figured it out. They're finally going to make a good 3D Sonic game. And then it just wasn't. It's very disappointing.
All right, Mike. I think that does it for that segment. Should we talk about any games or get out of here?
I got a couple things here. I've almost beat Doom 64. Just still been really enjoying that. I also played Journey to Silius, which was an NES game. It's on the NES Classics package on the Switch. I don't know if you ever played this one. It's a bit of a Mega Man clone. It's like sci-fi-y, and you have like different weapons you can go around and shoot. It's by Sunsoft. In terms of like other 2D like action platformy shooting games, it's pretty good. It's very challenging. I don't think I'm going to like beat it or anything, but it was fun to mess around with and play for a few levels. This is probably one of those like NES games you haven't played before that is actually pretty good. And if you're looking
okay.
at your NES collection on your Switch and want to try something new, I think Journey to Silius is one that you should.
Okay, so it's
consider.
already on the Nintendo Switch Online
It's
stuff.
already there.
That's
probably one of the ones
that's
that
a cool
people looked
thing.
at one point
Yeah,
and
and
were mad that
overlooked
it
it.
wasn't something
Yeah.
else. But it's that this one's actually a good game. That channel I talked about before, You Can Beat Video Games, did a video tutorial on it. So if you like really want to beat it too, you can just kind of play along with that and make some good progress.
Well, that's cool. I we should do that as like a regular segment where we call out like unsung games from that. And I know it wouldn't last long because there's not a ton of stuff on there.
There's not a ton, right?
But I'm sure there's some stuff we can dive in there a little bit. I will check that out. I beat Circle of the Moon, which is like, first of all, it's nice to beat a video game. Like, it's always nice to like, actually do that and see one of these through instead of just dabbling like I do so much, especially with emulation. You just dabble so much. I stuck through with this one, and I still really like that game. It's really fun in a lot of like key ways where it is fun to move. I think during combat, the controls can be a little bit sluggish. There was no backdash in that one, which is something that they made sure the next ones had, where like even like Harmony of Distance had both backdash and forward dash right from the beginning. That would have been important.
That was like an oddly fun movement thing in Symphony of the Night, was constantly backdashing as your main movement thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It felt satisfying in a way. It almost felt like I was cheating, like I was doing a
totally.
bad thing.
Yes,
and I loved it.
Yeah, me too. They had to sprint forward, so like you were pretty fast when you're actually trying to move fast, but it was like that's not something you could do in combat very easily. So there could be some frustrating enemies and stuff like that. The DSS system, like the dual whatever it was, it's like the card system where you have one card that's named after a planet, another thing that's named after whatever, a god or something, and you combine them in different ways. There are some very useful ones.
Are you sure they're just not both named after gods?
Well, I guess the top rows, yes, planets are named after gods too. Shut the fuck up. I realized that as I was saying it, and I'm like, Mike's gonna realize not to say anything, and of course, you couldn't let it go. Oh, motherfucker, this show.
Is this a good time to bring up that you were streaming
let's do it
from Wii earlier? And you were fighting Don Flamenco, and everyone in chat was making fun of how he's like an awful Spanish stereotype. You're like,
for a long time I was like, he was Italian because I heard the name Don Flamenco and it sounded Italian to me. And so I'm like, this is Italian.
It literally comes out in Spanish colored, like the Spanish
yes, Spanish flag trunks.
He's got the whole like awful stereotypes, like
bullfighter,
spicy Spanish lover thing. He's a bullfighter. He says uno, dos, tres, and ole constantly, and you're like, Italian.
When he did uno, dos, tres is when I'm like, oh wait a second, hang on, let me take a look here. Oh, I need to reassess. Then I was like,
Why do you think bullfighting happened?
No, I know bullfighting happens in Spain. My brain broke for a second. When I was a kid playing against Don Flamenco in Punch-Out, it wasn't as obvious. And for some reason, I think I associated the rose with Italy. I don't know why.
You need to brush up on your offensive stereotypes.
I know, I really need to. That's one of my failings, Mike. Yeah, that was bad. That game is very good though, so I've been playing that as well.
The animation's so good.
Yeah, it's the Wii one, the Wii Punch-Out. Animation, incredible, just top of the line, best animation on the Wii. I would have mentioned it as my favorite Wii game, but I wasn't allowed to. By Stephen Lamb, I think said I couldn't. So yeah.
Yeah, you kept bringing it up. Did you like my idea? Like, because they probably can't get away with those stereotypes anymore. They made another Punch-Out. But the last like secret boss in that was just Donkey Kong. You just do a Punch-Out where like it's like Luigi instead of Glass Joe, and then like you have Captain Falcon with the Falcon. But you could just do Nintendo characters,
and you could still like Bald Bull would be fine because Bald Bull is like he's just a guy from like they don't even know like what an Istanbul Turkey stereotype is, so he doesn't really have one. He's just like his own character, so you could still do Bald Bull.
There's Soda Popinski's probably fine still.
Soda Popinski, right? Yes, maybe tone down like the drunk Russian, I guess, a little bit, but you could even like
Soda
do like
Pop,
you're right, and you could probably do Piston Hondo at this point because it's a Japanese company.
Maybe we'll allow that giant Canadian bear man just because we like it.
Exactly.
That one is almost so far. Like, he literally is just chugging maple syrup and randomly says, "I like to eat raw fish."
And he's the maple syrup has a Canadian flag on it, and
at this point, it's like, okay, I mean, we'll allow it. I
think most Canadians would be like, yeah, that's fair. Go ahead. That's fair. That's fair play. Boy, that game game is just fantastic, though.
Yeah.
I'll probably stream some more of that. And I'm still chugging through other M. But since I beat Circle of the Moon, which again, fantastic, I am gonna go to Harmony of Distance. I think I might play Aria of Sorrow first, though, because I think I like that one better. I went to play Harmony of Distance. I started it up. And Harmony of Distance is so hard to look at now because that was them responding to Circle of the Moon is too dark because you were playing it on a non-backlit GBA.
Right.
So they made Harmony of Dissonance garish. It is so bright. Your character has a bright blue outline the entire time.
Right.
It is really hard to look at with a backlit screen
I think
now.
you need to play through it first, though, because I'm very curious to know.
You're right.
Like, how you would rank them, and I think it's only fair to play through them in order.
You're right. I and I actually lost my save. Like I only played like 20 minutes of Aria of Sorrow, but then I didn't save and got killed or something. So I'm like, I'm gonna start it over anyhow. So I will go and I'll play Harmony of Dissonance and see. It seems like, and it does have that forward and backdash from the beginning. I love that. So that'll be cool. So I'll play that and I'll kind of come back. I want to do a video and a story about all three of these games and have it ready to go if they actually do that compilation release. So that'll be cool. All right, I got a baby yelling me. She's yelling poo poo, which means she probably poo poo.
What could that mean?
Yeah,
I'll
have to go figure it out. We're not very good detectives, obviously. We were trying to figure out that thing earlier. We couldn't. We couldn't figure out that Axiom Verge 2 minute Nintendo Switch
well,
or Nintendo that was happening.
Eventually, I was kind of being everyone's like, "What do you think's gonna happen in the direct?" I think Axiom Verge 2 is gonna show it. And then it did, and people were like, "Mike, you're a genius." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yep, called it. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes 2. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes. Right. I, of course, got it wrong, man. I don't even know my characters.
Next week, Switch games. We're going to talk about our favorite Switch games so far. The Switch has been around longer than the Wii U now anyways, right? So
wow.
So there'll be more to talk about actually than there was for the Wii U. Right. Then after we do that, we're going to loop back around and start with the portables. So
yeah, and feel free to come in with your deep cuts because I know everyone for so many people, Breath of the Wild will be up there, and even Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. So people will come with their deep cuts. Keep those coming. That's fine.
Yeah, to be honest, I have a feeling Jeff's going to say Zelda and I'm going to say Mario, so we might have those two covered.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can let us know. But you can still let us know and then pick your deep cut too. That's fine.
All right, Mike, I'm going to hit the quick intro. I still haven't, or outro. I haven't extended this yet, so we got a minute.
Okay. That's fine. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find more of me on Twitter at Tolkoto, TOLKOTO. Check out 90s Disney, 90s Disney Podcast at 90sdisney.com. GameSpeak Decides is recording on Friday. Jeff.
Yes, I am Jeff Grubb on Twitter. I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitch. Come hang out with me there. If you use your Prime sub thing on Twitch, it gets you into the secret stuff inside the Discord, as well as going to patreon.com/JeffGrubb. You can do the same thing there, and it gets you into the secret channels. It also supports this stuff. I'll be doing more videos on YouTube, I think, before my vacation is over, which is coming up very fast. Getting back to work later this week. Yeah, and then, I don't know, come hang out in the Discord. I think the link might be broken again. If anyone wants to, if you're listening and you're in the Discord, if you want to give us a boost, that'll help. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, we'll be back with GameSpeak Decides on Friday. How games make money has a new episode coming up very soon. I think I'll edit that here. My first day back to work. So yeah. All right, Mike, anything else?
Nope, that's it. Let's get out of here.
Bye, everybody.